हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल द सोलफुल डायरी। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे नसीम इज़ेकियल की पोम गुड बाय पार्टी फॉर मिस पुष्पा टीएस के बारे में। पोएट के बारे में पहले ही हम एक वीडियो में डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, जिसका लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है। चलिए आज पोम को डिस्कस करते हैं। पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करने से पहले जान लेते हैं उसके कुछ की फीचर्स। Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa T.S. is a satirical poem by Nissim Ezekiel that offers a humorous commentary on the Indian bureaucracy and the use of English language in official settings. The poem tells the story of a farewell organized for Miss Pushpa T.S., an employee in the office who is leaving for another job. Ezekiel's witty portrayal of the Indian English language and its use of humor to criticize the bureaucracy makes the poem a notable work of satire. The speaker stands for every speaker in Indian context. He uses free and broken language to share the views and emotions. The poet mocks at the literal translation. For example, 2 3 days is the literal translation for a vernacular expression. Another example of literal translation with men also and ladies also is an unacceptable collocation used in literal translation of a vernacular expression. Another way of unfolding parody is the way of not using indefinite articles. For example, very high family, renowned advocate, there is the absence of the indefinite article a. The phrase should be like a very high family, a renowned advocate. Miss Pushpa is laughed at and laughs at all people. The poem is a social satire on speech, which is delivered on an occasion when all praise the good natured, helpful, and sacrificial attitude and leadership qualities, etc., of the person. The poet has not given a definite identity of the speaker. We do not know whether it is male or female speaker. Nazim Ezekiel, by hiding the identity of the speaker, renders the mistake of every Indian in general. Babu English. He wrote this poem in the dialect of urban Indians, particularly those in Bombay, according to Dominic. This dialect is called Babu English. Originally, the colonial British used the word Babu as a derogatory term when referring to subordinate Indians who speak English as a second language. According to the Hindu website, a Babu was a person who tried to impress a British master using stylish ornamentation as the way that he expressed a message that was important than information relayed. मैं पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करते हैं. Friends, our dear sister is departing for foreign in 2 3 days, and we are meeting today to wish her bon voyage. The first 7 lines of the poem, Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa T.S. by Nissim Ezekiel, the narrator sets the scene for the farewell party. The party is being held in the office, and the guests are described as fellow workers, suggesting that Miss Pushpa is leaving her job. The use of the word fellow creates a sense of camaraderie among the colleagues, but this is quickly undermined by the narrator's description of the guest as being not overly sincere. This creates a sense of tension and skepticism from the very beginning of the poem, setting the stage for the satire and humor to come. Lines 8 to 14. We are all knowing friends. What sweetness is in Miss Pushpa? I don't mean only the external sweetness, but internal sweetness. Miss Pushpa is smiling and smiling, even for no reason, but simply because she's feeling. In lines 8 to 15, the speaker expresses frustration with Ms. Pushpa T.S. for not speaking up and being more assertive. The speaker suggests that Ms. Pushpa T.S. should not be afraid to speak her mind and should strive to be more confident in herself. The speaker also implies that Ms. Pushpa T.S. timidity is holding her back and preventing her from achieving her full potential. 15 to 19. Miss Pushpa is coming from very high family. Her father was renowned advocate in Balsar or Surat. I'm not remembered now which place. In these lines, the poet criticizes the societal norms that force individuals to conform to a certain way of life. The speaker highlights the hypocrisy of the Indian society that, on the one hand, encourages women to be docile and submissive, while on the other hand, expects them to be assertive and take control of their lives. The line, Miss Pushpa T.S. is leaving, let her go, she'll come to know, suggests that the speaker believes that Miss Pushpa T.S. should leave this environment and seek a path that aligns with her true self. The phrase she will come to know implies that Miss Pushpa T.S. will eventually recognize her worth and take control of her life. Overall, these lines criticize the societal norms that are oppressive and limit the growth and development of individuals, especially women. Lines 20 to 25 suited, yes, with family members of my uncle's very old friend. His wife was cooking nicely. That was long time ago. In these lines, the speaker reflects frustration with the societal norms that limit individuals' growth and development. The speaker notes that Miss Pushpa T.S. is living with a heavy heart and that she's shy and polite. These lines suggest that Miss Pushpa T.S. is leaving because she feels compelled to do so, not because she wants to. The phrase she wants to say something highlights the speaker's frustration with the societal norms that prevents individuals, especially women, from expressing themselves freely. The line, but choked, reinforces the idea that societal norms suffocate individual expression and prevent people from living authentically. Overall, these lines criticize the societal norms that limit individuals' freedom and expression, especially for women, and suggest that individuals should be able to express themselves freely without fear of judgment or reprisal. Lines 26 to 28. Coming back to Miss Pushpa, she's a most popular lady with men and ladies. After diversion from topic of his speech, the speaker goes back to Miss Pushpa. He says that she's very popular with both men and women. It is obvious in these lines that Nissim Ezekiel is ridiculing the amusing and grammatical speech of Indian and their sentimental, exaggerated way of speaking. 29 to 34. Whenever I ask her to do anything, she was saying, just now only, I will do it. That is showing good spirit. I am always appreciating the good spirit. Praising his subordinate, Miss Pushpa, the speaker praises her good nature. She would never say no to the work assigned to her. This shows that she has a good spirit and her readiness to do any work. She's willing worker. The unnecessary use of just and only exhibits the speaker's ignorance of the usage of English words, creating laughter and fun. Lines 35 to 40. Pushpa misses never saying no. Whatever I or anybody is asking, she's always saying yes. And she's going to improve her prospect, and we are wishing her bon voyage. Now I ask other speakers to speak. In the concluding lines, the speaker says that she was always ready to help whenever asked by him or any other colleague. Today, the speaker and other colleagues have gathered to wish her happy journey as she's going abroad to improve her prospects. After the speech is over, the speaker asks other speakers to speak and says that Miss Pushpa will sum up after the colleague's speech. Devices satire. The poem is a work of satire that uses humor, irony, and exaggeration to criticize and ridicule societal norms, bureaucracy, and workplace relationships. Imagery. The poem uses a vivid and descriptive language to create images in the reader's mind. For example, the phrase elephantine memories paints a picture of Miss Pushpa T.S. exceptional memory. Irony. The poem uses irony to highlight the absurdity of societal norms and workplace relationships. For example, Miss Pushpa T.S. receives tacky and useless gifts from her colleagues, which are almost insulting. Repetition. The poem uses repetition to emphasize certain ideas or phrases. For example, the phrase choked. repeated to emphasize Miss Pushpa T.S. inability to express herself freely. Hyperbole. The poem uses hyperbole to exaggerate certain ideas or situations. For example, the phrase type letters in quadruplicate exaggerate Miss Pushpati's typing abilities. Metaphor. The poem uses metaphor to create comparison between two different ideas or objects. For example, the phrase heavy heart is a metaphor for Miss Pushpati's sadness at leaving her job. Themes of the poem: societal norms. The poem criticizes the societal norms that force individuals to conform to a certain way of life, especially women. It highlights the hypocrisy of the Indian society that encourages women to be docile and submissive, while on the other hand, expects them to be assertive and take control of their lives. Oppression of women. The poem highlights the oppression of women in Indian society and the need for women to express themselves freely without fear of judgment or reprisal. It suggests that women should be able to live authentic lives and be treated with respect and dignity. Use of English language. The poem satirizes the use of English language in official settings and criticizes the absurdity of official language and behavior in such settings. It highlights how people often use convoluted language to sound intelligent even though it can be confusing and ineffective. Superficiality and lack of sincerity. The poem highlights the superficiality and lack of sincerity that often characterizes workplace relationships. It criticizes the practices of giving gifts without thought or consideration for the recipient's preferences or needs. Bureaucracy. The poem satirizes the bureaucracy and criticizes the absurdity of official language and behavior in such settings. It highlights how bureaucracy often creates unnecessary hurdles and complications, which can be frustrating and counterproductive. Home is a reflection on the nature of workplace relationships and the societal norms that limit individual expression and growth. The poem uses satire and humor to criticize the Indian bureaucracy and the use of English language in official settings. Through the characters of Miss Pushpa T.S., the poem highlights the struggle of individuals, especially women, to express themselves freely and live authentically in a society that imposes restrictive norms and expectations. Overall, the poem is a notable work of satire that offers a humorous and insightful commentary on Indian society and workplace culture. थैंक यू। आई होप आज की वीडियो आपको पसंद आई। कैसी लगी हमें लिख कर बताएं और हमें ये भी कमेंट करके बताएं कि आप आने वाली वीडियो किस टॉपिक पर देखना चाहते हैं। अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल। मिलते हैं कल एक और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो के साथ शाम 4 बजे। थैंक यू।